Taranda versus Lunara.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another Thief Priest video. To my surprise, I actually started encountering a few other people playing a very similar deck, and I knew it couldn't just be from me, and then I later found out that Regis Kilbin had also publicized a similar deck at about the same time. So this particular video, this part here, actually somewhat emulates his deck list because his composition made some points that mine did not. Here I chose Embiggen just because it would have been the best yield. It was nice seeing that they are in fact playing Embiggen Druid, because that told me that, for example, the Plague of Death in my hand and now the Mass Dispel I just drew probably are going to be best left for the, I can't think of the name right now, the 6/8 Taunt Reborn can't be targeted.
The future is clear. Your demise be made.
Here I choose Frizz Kindle Roost simply because I'm going into my turn 4, and I do have some dragons in the deck, and one of the problems this deck has is being hand stuffed, which is actually part of the reason why I do like some of the features of Regis's build, because it does have a slightly lower curve, which means the ability to get more things out. Also, the cloning device, I think it's called, and Mind Vision, they're not bad because they're cheap, but they don't do anything in the moment, whereas like the Psychic Conjurer puts a body on the board, for example. So it's something I was experimenting with in this game. It turned out really well. At first I was pleased with this board setup because I thought Convincing Infiltrator would be a great way to clear out 2 of his cards with one of mine. However, I was afraid that he was going to play the Oasis Surger, and I was so relieved when it took out his evasive dragon, because that meant that my breath could take out the rest of his board. And I think that was the high roll that basically turned this into a win.
I've got more left in me.
When I saw that I had drawn a discounted Alexstrasza, it was my intention to use Holy Smite on the Taunt minion. However, having drawn the dragon that does 1 damage to all minions, I figured it'd be better to pop one of his Snip Snaps.
Unity, precision,
I was really glad that he made this play because I wasn't quite sure what I was going to be able to use my time rip on, since so much of his deck is not targetable, so this makes the ideal target right here, and I'm able to clean up the board just fine. And there we go, the first Winged Guardian hits the board.
Don't keep your thoughts to yourself.
Here I make a mistake. I actually have two 5/6 minions, one of which cannot be targeted. So I should have damage to the other one just on the off chance that I could later heal it. I cannot heal that one, so I think that that was a mistake. Now this really surprised me and made me think about what to do moving forward, simply because not a lot of Embiggen Druids are running Witching Hour or have ever run Witching Hour. It's not a bad play, it just limits me as far as what my options are, dealing with not only that one, but the other native one that he has to come. I forget what I was hoping to get from the Zephrys here. I think maybe it was Mass Dispel that I was hoping for. But in the end, Natalie Celine works out fine here.
The void is filled with many whispers. Can't win them all.
Tyrande versus Rexxar.
Let's the hunt.
This video is from before the reset, that's why the list is a bit older. I wanted to share this game because given the flavors of Hunter and Priest, no Hunter versus Priest matchup should ever be this lopsided in the Priest's favor. But this poor guy could not get a foothold at any point in the game.
The fires of vengeance burn bright.
Your head isn't as empty as it looks.
Obviously at this point there was no way of telling what he had. I just figured if I could get the Mana Saber I could coin into it, and that way I'd have the coin every turn it was alive.
To my side.
Not the face!
Alright, who's thirsty?
Nobody move and no one gets hurt.
Drawing Forbidden Words here actually make this a tough decision, but even though it's kind of wasteful on mana, I felt that Shadow Word Death was the better choice.
Your future is ready.
This poor guy low rolls here. Statistically, it was quite improbable, and yet that's what happened. Now, if you've been keeping score at home, this will be his turn 9, and the first time he's actually able to attack with one of his minions, poor guy. Here, obviously, we deprive him of his own healing as well as preventing the hit from my Aeon. I guess here's one of those times where an opponent of mine in this situation would be very glad that Priest has been changed to mostly not be able to do any face damage. It has to come through minions. But the damage has been done, it's too late, and there's nothing he can do. Hope you've enjoyed this. Stay tuned, I've got a bonus clip for you guys.
Well fought. I concede.
Okay, this clip is just going to be rapid fire like a Trollden highlight. In fact, I've submitted it to him. Basically, it's turn 2, Zephrys choosing Brightwing. On turn 3, playing Brightwing and getting Shirvallah. Now later in the game, he hits me with an Alexstrasza with Siamet with Wind Fury, taking me down to 3. Now across the course of the game, I managed to pick up Conjurer's Calling. I knew that there were no other minions that cost the same as Shirvallah, so it would basically give me 2 more Shirvallahs. So basically I cleared his board and healed back up nearly to full. So hope you enjoyed that highlight. We might actually see it on a Trollden video.
Amazing.